Why does software always have such screwed up version numbers?
Dumbest name on YouTube.
Now, I'm not going to get into actual numbers. The numbers are immaterial. You might have 1.14.26 or something like that. That's fine, and there could be multiple numbers. There might be 6-digit numbers in some of the version numbers. Some companies are going to a version numbering system where they come out with a new number every couple of weeks, and they're really going to regret that when they start hitting 3-digit numbers. Because if they're on version 3.14, they're going to ask somebody, okay, what version are you on? 3? Anyway, so you have multiple entities that make software, and then you have this other entity called the customer. Customers just want it right now. They want it to work, and they don't want it to break anything else. That's their criteria. And the less time it takes them to jack with it, the better, because no company in this world is in the business of doing anything except making money. What'll happen is you have the engineers, and they build a piece of software. They design and build a piece of software, and they're like, oh, here it is, and it works. Then you have the testers, and testers get a hold of it, and they say, okay, we're going to test the crap out of it. We want to make sure it's good, that the quality is assurance before it goes out the door. And then you have sales. Sales wants to push it out the door, get it into customers' hands. You have support to help people install, help work out the kinks, help provide feedback to the engineers for the next version. Then comes version numbers. Then you have to come out with another version of the software. Is it going to be a major patch? Is it going to be a major version number? Is it going to be a minor version number? Is it going to be a patch or even a sub-patch? Marketing and sales want a new number every time. They want every time you push out the software they want it to be a full version upgrade. And that is because they want it to be a new piece of software. They want everybody to think of it as a new piece of software. They don't want people to think of it as the same old piece of software, only we fix the things you complained about. That's the last thing they want it to be, because people are more willing to pay for a full another piece of software, a new piece of software that's really just the same as the old piece of software. And I'm going to let you know a little secret. Every piece of software that walks out the door is a whole new piece of software. It may or may not be similar to what walked out the door before, but it's not the same piece of software. So you have version A. Okay, I want to stay away from numbers. We came out with product A, and product A is beautiful and wonderful. And we decided, that we sold the crap out of product A, and now we're going to come out with basically the same product, and we're going to call it product B because that's the next number in line. And it's also going to be wonderful, but it's going to fulfill different needs. Most of the same needs, and a few of the different needs, a few new needs, and a few things have to go away because a few things just don't make any sense anymore. Well, now comes the conundrum, because people who are still using version A of your software don't want to upgrade to version B unless they have to, unless it has something they absolutely have to have. The reason being, everything else in their organization has to communicate back and forth with your software, basically, more or less. It has to, your software, anything that they've had to do to your software to make A work, they're going to have to probably do it all over again to get B to work, because they're going to have to look at all the things that your software does and compare it to all of the things the rest of their organization does, all the software packages everywhere else, and make sure that there aren't any new conflicts, and make sure that the features that they need didn't go away, make sure that everything works either the same or fix the things that don't work the same. All of this requires time, effort, and money. So the customer comes back to our company, and says, hey, we want one item. We want one bullet point that you're using to sell version B of your software. We want it in A, because we don't want to have to change everything in our organization. So this is what's called a patch. What they want done is they want to take that one feature and just put it in. And the problem is that's not how things work all the time. rarely can you just say, okay, fine, copy, paste, and there, the feature's there, recompile, send it out the door. No, that never happens, okay? Here's what happens. Sales marketing says, yeah, sure, I'm sure we can do something, because, they're in the business of selling stuff. And then you get the engineers where they're just like, oh, come on, you're killing me. You can't get feature X, Y, and Z because they're integral parts of the new software. If they want the new software, then they should just install the new software. Well, that doesn't work with the customer side of it. So you have to go back and look at A. Now you have A sub 1. Okay, so you have A sub 1 over here. It's really a whole new product. Guess what? It has to go through quality control again, because you have to make sure it's not something that you added, some little one line of code that you added didn't break the whole thing. So you have A sub A and B that you're selling, and guess what? We're already testing C. Oh wait, we're testing C, and now we're testing A sub 1. Well, wait a minute, we only have so many resources, people, time, hardware to test software. So is making this A sub 1, is that going to affect the dates on C? Whoa, no, it's not. Trust me, it won't. So you have all of these conflicting needs and wants. And what ends up happening is you get a 4-digit version number. Instead of just saying, well, this is the next version. You can't just put dates on software. See, a lot of people wonder why they don't just put date version number. Well, why don't you just put the date that it came out? Because we would have to put the date that the major version came out. Then we'd have to put the date that the minor version came out. And then we'd have to put the date. So we'd have 4 dates in a row instead of 4 numbers. So really the numbers are simply incremented. The numbers are a shortened date. It just doesn't work out. So the next time you look at a piece of software and you say, why is there a 16-digit version number after the first version? Why can't they just say it's the name of the software? Well, it's because of all these conflicting needs and wants that people have. And from each person's point of view, of course, everything makes perfect sense. I typically work with the engineers to get the releases out. And let me tell you, when I walk up to them and I ask a simple question, what version number do you want on this? I have had days worth of argument with these folks. And it's because of all of these conflicting needs. Anyway, I'm going to cut it right there.